All right, we're going to go ahead and get started on this first assignment. So doing math on the practice worksheet. So I'm going to go down here on the bottom. Notice I've got assignment and then I've got practice, just kind of like we've been doing before. So I've got a couple of different math problems, and we're going to walk through this, and we're going to do this a couple different ways. So that's important to know. We're going to do the same thing a couple different ways. Now I know you may not all be math teachers, so I left the answers for perimeter for both of them here. So first things first, I'll do this one right here. We're going to get the perimeter of that square. So a couple ways to get the perimeter. The perimeter is, if you don't notice, the distance around an object. So this side is 40, this side is 40, this side is 40, and this side is 40. And so the perimeter is the sum of all of those sides. So to get this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say equals, because it will not do calculations if I do not start with equals. And I'm going to say 40 plus 40, so that's two sides, plus 40, that's three sides, plus 40, that's four sides. And that right there gives me the answer. Okay, that's one way that I could possibly do this. Another way I could do this, and actually, let me bounce over to the octagon and let's do the octagon real quick. So we're going to go perimeter of the octagon. So this has 8 sides. So I can do this and I can say this equals 20 plus 20, and I could do that 8 times. Or I'm going to try this a different way. I know an octagon has 8 sides, so I'm going to say 8. And I'm going to multiply that. So the multiply is the asterisk. Okay, that's right above the 9 if you have a 10 key, or it's shift 8, whatever you're using. So 8 times 20, because I know that I have each side is 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should give me the answer. So that's another way to do it. So I did one with times. I did one with addition. All right, so that's to get the perimeter of each of those individually. Now, let's say, what if I said any octagon? So if I just said an octagon. Now, I know an octagon has how many sides? So it's going to have 8 sides. And I'm just doing this just to organize. And I can say the length of the side. And let's say for this case, it's 20. So now I'm going to say, what's the perimeter? Now, up here, we did 8 times 20. Over here, what I'm going to do is instead of saying equals 8 times 20, I'm going to say it equals, and I'm going to click on this cell. So C7 has the number of sides. And now I'm going to hit times. And I'm going to hit this cell, which is the length. And I'm going to hit enter. So now, notice, same exact answer. But here's why this is kind of neat. What if I gave you a different octagon and I said this one actually has sides that are 60? Well, because this equation right here is just looking at those 2 cells, it doesn't matter what you type into those cells. I don't even have to make this an octagon. What if it was a pentagon? A pentagon only has 5 sides. It will actually do the math for you. Okay? I could even go over here and say, what is the perimeter of the square? So I'm going to copy this. I'll paste it over here. So the square has 4 sides, and each side is 40. Look, I'm back to my 160. So that's just a couple of things. This is called a cell reference. When you say not just a number, but that cell and that cell, and then you can put a math operation between them. So that's one of the things you can do. It is called a cell reference. Okay, so hope that helps out. I'm going to add another one for a little bit more of the math that we're going to do here in a second.